when their guy plays some games. Okay, hi folks, we are here once again for the annual list of the best games that I played on this channel this year. And this list, you may immediately notice based on the lack of pictures in the thumbnail, is a shorter list. There's just not as many games I played this year, and it's not because I didn't play a lot this year, it's because I played longer games this year, especially like Patrick's Parabox took a long time, and finishing up Baba Is You, which took me 2+ years to beat, and Ace Attorney took up a lot of time this year, but that was on last year's list. This year was mostly a list full of puzzle games. In fact, 6 of the 8 games today are puzzles, which is kind of crazy. We are very much in our puzzle era, as they would say. Now, certain things are not going to be on this list. These are games that are either one-offs or they are games that are ongoing that I have not finished yet that will be in next year's list. Things like Expedition 33, right? So be on the lookout for that. If you're excited for Expedition 33, you'll have to wait a whole nother year. But for today, we're going to dive into these 8 games. And as always, they were all good games. I don't play bad games on this channel. Why would I do that? That sounds insane. But yeah, let's see where we're at. Let's start off with number 8.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Okay, at number 8 today, we have a good snowman. It's hard to build. This was a very nice, simple, very easy to pick up puzzle game where all you have to do is build snowmen. You just push snow around until you make 3 different size snowballs and you stack them on top of each other, and that's it. It's great. The only reason why this game is so low is because there wasn't a whole lot of, plot to speak of, or the game was just so short. I beat it, I think, in 2 sessions. It was very quick. So that's the only reason why. It's definitely a great time to play it for a short evening, but there's not much to offer besides that. There's not a lot of replayability with it, but it's still definitely worth a single play. Next up at number 7, we have Mind Diver. Now this is a game that I had been looking forward to for a long time. This has a lot of a gameplay that is similar to like Return of the Obra Dinn or even the Golden Idol games. It's where you explore a 3D place and search for clues in order to solve what really happened in different scenarios. The logic story twist in this is that you are actually diving into this lady's mind to find out what really happened in a sequence of events that occurred over like her past year or 2, right? And her relationship with this guy and this cult that he gets into. It's this whole thing. And the puzzle here is not terribly difficult most of the time, but the story itself is really well done. The voice acting that it comes with is very good. And again, this is another fairly short game. I think it took me 7 or 8 videos to get through. Pretty short, but definitely a great narrative experience more than anything. I would definitely check this out.
Lines, lines, lines. Lines are all around you and me. Long or short or thick and thin they'll be.
Now at number 6, we have what may be the most controversial placement on this list. We have The Witness. Now you likely already know what The Witness is. It is a puzzle game where most of the puzzles are solved by drawing lines from point A to point B, and the puzzles have different rules that you have to sort of intuit. Like you have to touch this dot and this dot before you cross the line across the puzzle, right? Or you have to make certain shapes, whatever it is, right? Even having crazy like environmental puzzles. But for some reason, this game just didn't quite click with me. I found a lot of the puzzling was just, it wasn't terribly fun. I don't know. I just didn't enjoy drawing lines all the time, and the world itself was beautiful, but there wasn't really any like super exciting discoveries apart from near the end of the game. So it had a lot of great animation. I would not animation, but like just beauty of the world, and the connectivity of it all felt great. But it's not something that I particularly absolutely loved. But I recognize it for how great it is for the genre and how like what's the word I'm looking for? How sort of groundbreaking it was for this format of discovering rules and having to put them to memory, right? I feel like that's something that's going to be replicated more and more with these sorts of puzzle games.
That's what we're trying to find out. We're trying to find out who killed him and where and with what.
Now at 5, we have Rise of the Golden Idol. Now this is a game where you just simply solve murder scenes basically throughout the entire narrative. And you do it by just using environmental clues and putting the pieces together. And it's not just saying who died and what killed them and who, right? It's also why these things happen and what they were trying to do and what the bigger mystery entails, right? It's a very sweeping narrative that covers several years and has a lot of the same themes as the first game, Case of the Golden Idol. There's a lot of cult vibes, things like that. A lot of great scenes here, very clever puzzles. I think this is actually maybe the most clever use of deduction that I've seen in games. I really, really enjoy it. Apart from maybe Return of the Obra Dinn, but this stuff is really, really just good and satisfying and fun. And the narrative itself is really, it's really great. So definitely check this one out. I enjoyed the playthrough a lot. I think the playthrough also went much better than my Case of the Golden Idol playthrough. So this is definitely a fun one, and you should play this.
I know Kung Fu. Show me.
At number 4, we finally are past puzzle games for a bit. We have an action game. We have Sifu. Now, Sifu is a very fast-paced, but not a button masher, action game where you have to dodge, block attacks, and deal combos and face several enemies. And the big loop here is that every time you die, your character gets older. And as you get older, you get stronger. But if you age too much, you just completely die and it's a game over, right? So that's a fun thing to try to manage, but also your age carries over like between levels. So if you die a lot on level 1 and end up at say age 50 going into level 2, that's scary. You have to make that age 50 last through the entire rest of the game, which is 5 long stages. But the game is beautifully animated. The choreography of the action sequences are great. The bosses are awesome and creative. The protagonist is really cool. The levels are interesting. Definitely just a fun game to play, and you feel so satisfied once you get good, right? Once you start blocking and dodging everything, you just feel like Neo in the Matrix, and it's such a fun experience. Highly recommend playing this if you are needing an action kick in your life.
I couldn't afford a present this year, so I got you this box.
That's what I got you!
Now, number 3 on this list, and perhaps the most unique game on this list, is going to be Patrick's Parabox. Now, this is a puzzle game where crazy stuff happens. There's not really a narrative to speak of, but you are a box, and your goal is to get your box in a certain spot and to get other boxes into other spots, which sounds very simple on the surface, but then you get into things like boxes going inside of boxes, boxes going inside themselves, or you becoming the wall, or you becoming a different box. There's just so many different tricks and things that can happen, like boxes flipping, going out into infinity, things like this. The game is absolutely trippy, and it makes for some very, very genius, mind-bending puzzles. It's very, very fun. The levels are clever. There's a ton of them. There's, I think, a couple hundred probably. I think there's like 300. But it's just a really, really satisfying, fun time. The music is also very well done in this game. It gets in your brain, it doesn't leave. Definitely just a very trippy, fun game to show your friends and to play with. Even I think this is a great couch game to work on solving puzzles with people. It's just so, the puzzles are so clever, they really are.
Color of the pen that I hold in my hand is royal blue.
Now at number 2 on this list, we have Blueprints. Now Blueprints, you've probably heard of. This came out near the beginning of the year, I believe, and it had an incredible reception. A lot of people were saying early on in the year, like, this is indie game of the year, this is incredible, you know? And it's true, it's such a good game. And it does borrow some of the logical stuff from The Witness, in that the more you play, the more you know what to do, right? Like, you learn the keys to progressing in the game. And that's a lot of fun. It's a roguelike game where every playthrough you draft rooms. And the rooms are random, you get to pick from 3, and the goal is to fill out every room in the house and make additional discoveries there. I can't talk too much without going into spoilers, but the game has a great narrative. It's incredibly dense with puzzles. And they're just puzzles that itch at your brain, and they're puzzles where you see one thing in one location and you realize that it's the key to something in an entirely different location. And it's not just a key in the physical sense, it's a key in the sense that it gives you knowledge. This is a game where whenever you play it, you have to take notes, you have to take screenshots, the whole shebang, and it's so fun. I still have my notepad document where it's just a long scrolling list, and whenever I would play this game on this channel, the list would be visible, and it was so fun. This is definitely a game you have to play to believe and experience. It's an entirely unique experience. There's nothing else like this out there. Just a really, really special game.
It came! It finally came! The big one.
Now, maybe the least surprising placement on the list is Silksong, number 1. Now, you all know Silksong. It's been insanely hyped for forever now. Everybody was waiting on the release, and then all of a sudden it came out within like a month of the announcement, which was crazy. Everybody played the hell out of it, myself included. I still haven't beaten the late game content, I'll call it, but I have beaten the main game on this channel, and it was so much fun. This game is action-packed. I think it improves on Hollow Knight in basically every single way, which is crazy to say when Hollow Knight was also just amazing. This game really takes everything to the next level in terms of ability, in terms of challenges, in terms of world design. It's just all great. It's all so cohesive and feels better. There's just so much to enjoy about this. And what's crazy is I didn't even dive all the way into this game. I did not really get into the lore at all. And I know that the lore is great, but I almost basically skipped over all the dialogue, and I still had a totally amazing time. The movement in this game feels incredible. The progression that you feel as you gain more abilities feels great. The excitement whenever you're constantly, I swear, every video I made a discovery, whether it was a new location or a new boss, there was always something new, fun happening every time I played. And it was so good. The learning curve was great. It was just fine, especially coming straight from Hollow Knight. The game isn't nearly as difficult as people might say. I thought it was just perfect level of difficulty for a fun, satisfying time. Man. Not just the combat too, but the platforming itself is very fun. I think it's a great improvement on the Hollow Knight platform. You have more dashes, things like that, more ways to augment your movement and make cool text happen where you get to crazy places. And man, I don't know, this was just such a fun ride. Definitely play it. I mean, obviously you need to play this. And again, on top of everything else, not only was this you know, a Game of the Year contender, and it was incredible, but it was also at a very reasonable price point. Right now, during this winter summer sale on Steam, it's like $15, which is absurd. This game has absurd value for money. It's so good. Actually, all the games on this list are fairly cheap whenever they go on sale, and they're all just so good. Definitely a very high value list per like dollar. So yeah, play this. If you haven't played it, you're crazy. And that's it. That's the list. Pretty short, simple, and sweet today. Thank you for checking it out. It was so fun playing these games. And if you like these games, if you like the sound of my voice for some crazy reason, check out my full channel. Check out my videos. I make new stuff every single freaking day. Over 1,000 videos. It's absurd. I have videos every day, 7 days a week. Right now we have Expedition 33. We have Sunless Skies. We have Kalimbamba. We have Dredge. It's just so fun. Soon we're going to have Dispatch. It's going to be such a good time. So again, thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you would rate these games, and don't be offended if I rated a game that you liked low on this list. It's just a personal opinion. It's not a end all be all. It's totally fine. You can like games more than I did. So let me hear what games you like. Let me hear what games you're interested in seeing on this channel that you would think I would enjoy based on, this list and my previous list from the other 2 years. Just comment, let me hear what you're thinking, And again, subscribe, new video every day. It's a very chill time. I don't get in your face with extraordinary hype and yelling and screaming and shit. I'm a very chill guy. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are an amazing audience. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you next time. Peace out.